How was y'all the day so far?
It's been good, bro. Slow with the market. It's kind of been looking crazy today.
Yeah, it's been kind of slow. That's kind of what happens after the market makes a big move. Gotta just relax, enjoy the profits, and wait for the next play. That's what we're doing now.
Yeah, for sure. I still got some stuff. Some what's it called? I can't even think of the name. Right. Some lots. Just seeing how the market's gonna move before I really put in.
Yes, sir. That's how it works. That's how it works. But yeah, I'm just gonna start with a clear chart. Again, I marked up the all-time highs up here. I marked up these previous all-time highs, and then as well as 20,000 as well. That's a psychological number, right? Anything that goes like 5, 10, 15, 20, that's good. Things like, oh, like 100, 200, 300, that's good. And like 25, 50, 75, all those types of numbers, those are like psychological numbers, quarter levels, just numbers that people are familiar with. And as we see here, we are still stuck in this mini downtrend here on the daily, right? This is all liquidity being built up. All this right here, we are still holding above these levels though, 20,800, and the buys that we took were essentially based off of this break of structure right in here. Stop loss being the lows, and this happened right after we swept this liquidity right in there. So we do still favor this zone for buys if price decides to come back, and it very well can. It can do whatever it wants. If it wants to come back here, maybe even sweep beneath these lows and give us more of a setup, that's fine too. If it wants to just smack this whole setup here and come lower, maybe tap into this order block or this imbalance here, that's also possible. So, but for right now, we are looking at this. Price did break some structure to the upside yesterday on the daily. We broke above not only these highs here, we also broke above these highs right here, full body candle. So from that moment, I'm going to look at the Fibonacci from the lows all the way to the highs. 50% is near where we want to be entering. So it's almost there. The play is almost there. If you go to the smaller time frames, you see other areas as well. Not only do we break above these highs, we also broke above these here in the corner. That's valid. So we are approaching this area. This is a very strong buy zone. We have a nice imbalance. Prices in there right now. Even going down to the 1 hour, I see more. I see another high that we broke above right here with this one. I do have my buy limits already set. I have a buy limit literally right here. And I have 3 buy limits all right here, just waiting. And then I have more lower down here. So we'll see if these get activated today or tomorrow, and then price continues, or do they want to go lower? But I do want to see a continuation. Anything can happen though. Anything can happen. And as far as I see this is all liquidity that's waiting to be swept. We don't know when. We don't know if it wants to be. We don't know if it's true. But I do like this area to continue. I do want to see this continue. The market opens here in the next 25 minutes. So we'll see during the Asian session what happens in here. The best thing that we can do is wait for the confirmation as well. Wait for some type of accumulation and structure to be broken. We did have some distribution up here. We had some liquidity. The sweep, we did break below these lows, and we did retest and sell off. So That's fine. I believe I know Chris was in the chat earlier. He mentioned that we tapped into this 4-hour imbalance in here and then sold off, which boom, played out perfectly, super clean. And then even looking at US 30, we still didn't even break. We didn't even break what we needed to break. Right, we're still beneath this level here. I still want to see some more confirmation. Like, this is all liquidity. The low, the high, and then it's just consolidating in between. We sweep it, these lows, and then we need that break. That's really going to confirm, that we want to continue bullish here. So I am waiting on that. We shall see. Or, maybe price wants to come a little bit lower, retest, some levels here. Right, we did break above this structure, so we could be retesting this as price comes lower. We don't know. We'll wait for the structure. Looking at the pullback here, 50% is literally right here, so super clean. Wouldn't mind a quick retracement and then we break out. We shall see with US 30. I really want to catch US 30 because this is going to be more gains compared to NAS. This whole play here, if it even plays out, this liquidity being built up, the sweep, break above that retest, that retest will be insane. Especially if we see more accumulation right in here. We can take that, boom, and then ride that to all-time highs over 1,000 pips. That's what I'm really waiting on. And that's probably why NAS hasn't really, gone to these levels just yet. We did break structure to the upside multiple times yesterday. We broke above, these highs in here, these highs right there, even these up here. And, it is struggling since it taps into this 4-hour imbalance. It did sell off perfectly fine. We actually need that pullback. We need that pullback. If I'm looking here, again, 50%. We're literally right on it. We're in this imbalance area. So I'm super excited to, wait for these buy limits to activate, fill in this imbalance, and then we can continue this move up. But yesterday's close was phenomenal. On that daily close, we got that confirmation closing above any type of, higher time frame highs. Just continues to provide more evidence of bullishness. Closing above these daily highs, the previous day highs confirmed. Again, on the daily, we did, tap into this order block imbalance type thing right here. We did come into that, so that's perfectly normal. Keep in mind, we do have another order block imbalance here. So we shall see if you want to, fill that in. Technically, this is a small little imbalance. Fill that in, continue to push up. And then let me see the weekly real quick. Same thing on the weekly. Now we want to close above these weekly highs. These weekly highs would be the next target. And this weekly candle does close in the next 23 hours. And again, we are still holding the structure above 20,800. Ever since we closed above it here with these full body candles, we haven't broken back below. Right, so this is a very solid area that price is holding. And then if you even draw the fib here from these lows to the highs, price is right now literally at the 50%. So a lot of buyers are stepping in at these levels. All this area, this is the discount area for a lot of buyers who trade on the higher time frames, like the weekly, monthly. They're looking at this area to be buying. And as you see, the reactions that we're getting from these zones are pretty valid because, we've seen price just fly from these zones. We've seen price fly. Let me fix this as well. Right there, make it visible in the daily and below. Boom. So what I went ahead and did as well, I went ahead and drew the trend line on the line chart instead. Let me see. Did I do it on the 4-hour? Yeah, so I went to the 4-hour time frame and I just drew the trend line or the ray. I used the ray tool using, this low to this higher low, and then same thing from this low to this higher low. And this is what we got right in there. And I also drew the trend line from the top down. So right now we are inside of this wedge, inside of this squeezing area. So combining this with accumulation and the actual setup that we use is very powerful. Combining that with Fibonacci. So, I mean, as we see, we did respect this area here. We came right to this area, rejected, filled in the imbalance. So I'm very excited for these buy limits to go ahead and activate right in here. Again, I also have some lower ones down here as well, just in case price wants to make its way down. And again, if all this wants to get clapped, if price wants to clap all this and drop below these lows and sweep this liquidity, I would still be buying here. Still, right? This is accumulation. This is accumulation right here, and so is this. This whole area is accumulation. That's nasty work. The fact that it hit that trend line 4 times, the next time is popping through. Oh, you mean this one up here? I want to see that breakthrough as well. Yeah, this is all just a nasty wedge of liquidity ready to just pop out. And typically almost every time, like it hasn't failed yet, every time I see this distribution like slowly work its way down and make this type of liquidity, for some reason, that buy that breaks out of all this, it's just one fat candle. It just flies. It's gone. So I really want to make sure we're all able to get in some nice position. So when it goes, we're actually in here and we're not getting FOMO, like, oh, I should have got in. We've been talking about the same setup here for weeks, right? These market reviews and recaps, we literally the same chart markups. Nothing really has changed. So everyone here should have the same markup. You should have your alerts ready at the areas you want to be buying in and just have buy limit set. So even if you're busy, you have work, maybe you overslept, maybe you have something else going on, that doesn't matter because you already have your buy limit set. So there's not going to be any excuse for anyone in here not to be able to capitalize on these plays. Unless you just clearly don't even want to trade NAS or you just don't want to make money. That's perfectly fine. You're just here to listen. Perfectly fine and do what you want to do. But I'm here to position you to go to the next level right there. That's on NAS, US 30. You know, we're still waiting for that break above these highs. That's going to really confirm it. I want to catch these US 30 plays for sure because US 30 just moves way more pips. The liquidity, the sweep, we need that confirmation. That's going to really increase the confidence of these buys. Maybe pull back one last time and then we just take off. We enter here together and just fly. What are your thoughts on that bullish candle from news? Do you think it was smart money? Do you think it was smart money to shift trend? Let me see on the daily. What thoughts on that bullish candle? Oh, you mean this right here? That move from the CPI news, huh? Yeah, I mean that was just to liquidate the sellers because everyone was selling like here, everyone was selling here and there. So because of all those like sell limits and orders in this area, news had to come in and like liquidate everyone to push through that. That's why when I see these huge imbalances or huge pushes, it's because they have to break through all the resistance. Like all this area, people were selling hard. So the news had to come in and literally just blow everyone out just to like, you know, make it known like, hey, we're fucking buying, you know? So I think that's what it was. And news is always the excuse. It was going to happen regardless. This thing is, you know, coming out of an accumulation zone. So it would be odd to sell in an area where price is accumulating. So I think that's why, you know, people got, you know, stopped out there and, you know, news just pushed it within the 5-minute candle. It was about 200 pips. This whole thing happened in 5 minutes. Crazy work. As far as it being a shift trend, I mean, like the trend has always been really bullish. So I mean, it's just continuing to do what it's been doing. You know, I mean, this was FOMC at one point, and you know, it sold off heavy, but it didn't really like shift the overall trend, maybe temporarily, like on the smaller time frames for the scalpers. Yeah, but that's why I always zoom out. I'm always like on the weekly, daily, monthly. That's like my priority. Anytime I look at the chart, I'm always looking at the weekly, monthly first. I'm never starting off on the 1 minute, 5 minute. That's just asking for trouble for me. Even on the monthly candles, so far, I mean, we closed bullish above here back in November, and then December we held this level, and now it's January and we're still holding. So it looks like it wants to continue. As long as we stay above here, I'm good. If we start to break, these monthly lows here, if we close with a full body candle beneath, this monthly low, that can be some sort of red flag. Like, okay, maybe price wants to drop lower and maybe sweep lower lows down here. But as far as right now, I'm gonna hold the line, hold the fort. Same thing, US 30 on the monthly. I would say this is the floor, 42,400. We closed above this level here, and we've been holding it ever since. We closed above this one too, but then we bearishly closed back inside of it. So this is no longer the floor. Now this is, and if this gets violated, then this would be the floor right here. Every time we break above a high and then hold that structure, that's like the new floor. Any high we break above is the new floor. And then S&P, same thing. We broke above the highs here at 5,890 with this full body candle. The next candle respected it, and then so did this one. So this is the new floor right here. As long as you hold above the previous monthly highs, we should still be good. And then, if you draw the fib from any of these, boom, low to the high, we came right down to the 786, gone. Super clean, just regular standard stuff. Bitcoin as well. We did close above, 89,000, 90, or, let's just say 90K. We closed above there. And then, last month it held above it, and then so did this month. And if this month closes above these highs at 100K, then 100K would be the new floor. And Ethereum, very similar. Ethereum tapped into this monthly imbalance right in here with this candle, and now it's got a nice rejection, a nice move. If I look at, this order block before we break out, we came, slightly below 50%, perfectly clean. Textbook. XRP is just gone, no real pullbacks, but that's because it's been consolidating for years. Well, actually, it's been accumulating. All this here, if you look closely, all of this is accumulation. It's accumulation, but this is where most people, they lose confidence. They don't like to trade this. They say this, it looks nasty, which it does. But if you zoom in on all this is all accumulation schematics that's been built up over like 2-3 years. So when it moves, it only makes sense for it to, all that build up to finally be released, And imagine being a virgin until you get married. That's what happened. XRP popped this cherry. It's been celibate for like 10 years. Finally found a shawty and boom, release. Gone. Gone. That's what happened with XRP. So, I'm not surprised. Gold is flying as well. Gold is gone. Gold has been gone. Yeah, keep doing that. Keep doing that. Gold was accumulating here since like 2020. All this is accumulation. On the monthly, right? We have liquidity. We sweep. We broke above right here. Retested. And then gone. This is the same accumulation schematic that we look up. The same structure, but it's just on the monthly. This happened over, let me see. This took 44 months. 1,339 days. That's the level of patience people had on gold. The swing traders, the position traders, they were just adding positions this whole entire time. for 4 years, and then finally it made that pop. So when you see price do that, it's because the accumulation that came before it was so intense. So it just makes sense. And then oil, we'll see what oil wants to do. It never came back down here. It doesn't have to. It's going crazy. If we do close above this previous monthly high here, that's going to confirm like, more bullishness. This monthly candle closes in 15 days. We haven't closed above any highs for a while. So if we close above here, that'll be valid. It'll also be valid because we close above these highs and these highs here with this candle. So that'll be like 3 confirmations of bullishness in the next 15 days, depending on where we close. And then on that pullback, I'll be getting in to continue riding this up. On oil, Euro USD is still here in the zone. We'll see if they want to maintain this area. We're filling in the imbalance. We'll see. And then just waiting on NAS. I know the market opens here in the next 8 minutes. Still looking good. Looking great. We'll see how great, if this weekly, I really want to see these highs get closed above. That's a cool minute away though. Maybe like another week. We'll see. You know how NAS moves. It can easily just blow past all this, or it can just continue to sell off. Maybe going to lower areas, lower accumulation zones, and then take off. But regardless, if we do drop lower, anytime we sweep below a wick, that's an opportunity for price to reverse. So if we don't hold the structure, I'll be having buy limits below each wick here, even these wicks, because I know once a wick, especially on the daily or weekly, gets swept, that thing can easily reverse. Easily. So I'll be on the lookout for that. But so far it's still holding up pretty nicely. But that's pretty much it for the recap, unless you guys have any other things you want to add, any other charts that you're looking at. Go ahead and let me know.